Texas executes avowed racist in black man's dragging death. Huntsville, Texas. An avowed racist who orchestrated one of the most gruesome hate crimes in U.S. history was executed Wednesday in Texas for the dragging death of a black man. John William King, who was white, received lethal injection for the slaying nearly 21 years ago of James Byrd Jr., who was chained to the back of a truck and dragged for nearly 3 miles, 5 kilometers, along a secluded road in the piney woods outside Jasper, Texas. The 49-year-old Byrd was alive for at least 2 miles, 3 kilometers, before his body was ripped to pieces in the early morning hours of June 7, 1998. Prosecutors said Byrd was targeted because he was black. King was openly racist and had offensive tattoos on his body, including one of a black man with a noose around his neck hanging from a tree, according to authorities. King, 44, was put to death at the state penitentiary in Huntsville, Texas. He was the 4th inmate executed this year in the U.S. and the 3rd in Texas, the nation's busiest capital punishment state. King kept his eyes closed as witnesses arrived in the death chamber and never turned his head towards relatives of his victim. Asked by Warden Bill Lewis if he had a final statement, King replied, "No." Within seconds, the lethal dose of the sedative pentobarbital began taking effect. He took a few, barely audible breaths and had no other movement. He was pronounced dead at 7:08 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 12 minutes after the drug began. As witnesses emerged from the prison, about 24 people standing down the street began to cheer. The killing of Byrd was a hate crime that put a national spotlight on Jasper, a town of about 7,600 residents near the Texas-Louisiana border that was branded with a racist stigma it has tried to shake off ever since. Local officials say the reputation is undeserved. King's appellate lawyers have tried to stop his execution, arguing King's constitutional rights were violated because his trial attorneys didn't present his claims of innocence and conceded his guilt. The U.S. Supreme Court rejected King's last-minute appeal. From the time of indictment through his trial, Mr. King maintained his absolute innocence, claiming that he had left his co-defendants and Mr. Byrd sometime prior to his death and was not present at the scene of his murder. Mr. King repeatedly expressed to defense counsel that he wanted to present his innocence claim at trial. A. Richard Ellis, one of King's attorneys, wrote in his petition to the Supreme Court. The Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles also turned down King's request for either a commutation of his sentence or 120-day reprieve. Over the years, King has also suggested the brutal slaying was not a hate crime, but a drug deal wombat involving his co-defendants. Lawrence Russell Brewer was executed in 2011. The third participant, Sean Allen Berry, was sentenced to life in prison. King declined an interview request from the Associated Press in the week leading up to his execution. In a 2001 interview with the AP, King said he was an avowed racist, but wasn't a hate-monger murderer. Reuben Byrd Harris, one of Byrd's sisters, said King's execution sent a message to the world that when you do something horrible like that you have to pay the high penalty. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.